Hello, everyone, and welcome to Native Speakers Channel. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy you're joining us today. Whether you're just starting your English learning journey or looking to practice everyday conversations, you're in the right place. We're here to help you feel more confident speaking English in real-life situations.
Hey there, I'm Johnny, and thanks for tuning in. Today, we have a really practical topic that I think you're going to love. We're going to talk about learn English at the restaurant. Easy conversation for beginners. This is super useful because eating out is something we all do, right? And knowing what to say at a restaurant can make your experience so much better.
Absolutely. So, Johnny, let's jump right in. Why do you think learning restaurant English is so important for beginners?
Great question, Sarah. Well, restaurants are one of the most common places where English learners need to communicate. Whether you're traveling, living in an English-speaking country, or just want to order at an international restaurant, you'll need these skills. Plus, the conversations are usually pretty predictable, which makes them perfect for beginners.
That's so true. There's a pattern to restaurant conversations, which actually makes them easier to learn. So let's start from the very beginning. What happens when you first enter a restaurant?
Right, so the first person you usually meet is the host or hostess. They're the ones who greet you at the door. They might say something like, "Good evening, welcome to Bella's restaurant. How many people are in your party?"
And party here doesn't mean a celebration, right? It just means your group of people.
Exactly. So if you're alone, you'd say, "Just one," or "A table for one, please." If you're with friends, you might say, "Four people," or "A table for four, please."
Let's practice that. Johnny, pretend you're the host and I'll be the customer.
Okay. "Good evening. Welcome to Johnny's Steakhouse. How many in your party tonight?"
Hello, a table for two, please.
Perfect. "Would you prefer a table or a booth?"
Oh, that's a good question they often ask. A booth is that cozy seating area with high backs on both sides, usually more private. I might say, a booth would be great, thank you.
Wonderful. "Right this way, please." And that's when the host walks you to your table. They might also say, "Follow me," or "Your server will be right with you."
Now, what if the restaurant is really busy and there's a wait?
Good point, Sarah. The host might say, "I'm sorry, we don't have any tables available right now. The wait is about 20 minutes. Would you like to wait?" And you can respond with, "Yes, we'll wait," or "No, thank you. We'll come back another time."
Or sometimes they'll ask, can I have your name, please? And they'll add you to the waiting list. You might hear them call out, Sarah, party of two, when your table is ready.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about what happens once you're seated. The server, or waiter or waitress, will come to your table. What do they usually say first?
Well, they typically greet you and introduce themselves. Something like, hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be taking care of you tonight. Can I start you off with something to drink?
That's the classic opening. And here's where beginners need to know some drink vocabulary. You might order water, soda, juice, iced tea, or maybe coffee.
Right. And here's a tip. If you want tap water, which is free in most American restaurants, you can just say, water, please, or just water for now, thanks. If you want bottled water, you should specify bottled water, or they might ask you tap or bottled.
Good point. And if you need a minute to decide, you can say, "Can we have a few more minutes?" Or we need a little more time, please.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the menu. Johnny, what are some important menu sections that beginners should know?
Great question. Most menus are divided into sections. You've got appetizers, which are small dishes you eat before the main course. Sometimes these are called starters.
Then you have the main courses or entrees. These are your big dishes like steak, pasta, fish, chicken dishes. This is usually the biggest part of your meal.
Right. You might also see sections for salads, soups, sides, which are side dishes like fries or vegetables, and desserts.
And don't forget about drinks and beverages. Now, Johnny, what if someone doesn't understand something on the menu? What can they ask?
You can always ask your server for help. You might say, "What's this?" and point to the menu. Or you can ask, "What's in this dish?" Or, "Can you describe this for me?"
Those are perfect questions. You can also ask, what do you recommend? Or what's popular here? Servers usually love to help with recommendations.
Absolutely. And here's another useful question. Is this spicy? Or is this dish vegetarian? Or does this contain nuts? These are really important if you have dietary restrictions or allergies.
Speaking of allergies, it's super important to mention them. You can say, I'm allergic to shellfish, or I have a peanut allergy. The server needs to know this information.
Definitely. Now, let's practice ordering. Sarah, let's do a role play. I'll be the server, and I'll saw it.
Sounds good.
Good evening. Are you ready to order, or do you need a few more minutes?
Yes, I'm ready. I'll have the grilled salmon, please.
Excellent choice. And how would you like your salmon cooked? We can do it medium or well done.
Medium, please.
Great. And that comes with two sides. What would you like?
Oh, that's another common thing. The server asks about sides. I might say, I'll have the steamed vegetables and a baked potato, please.
Perfect. And would you like anything on your potato? We have butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon bits, and chives.
Just butter and sour cream, please.
You got it. Anything else?
No, that's all for now. Thank you.
See how natural that flowed? The key is being polite and clear about what you want.
Exactly. Now, what about ordering at different types of restaurants? Like, what if you're at a burger place?
Good question. At a burger restaurant, they'll ask how you want your burger cooked. You might hear, "How do you want that cooked?" The options are usually rare, rare, medium, medium well, or well done.
And rare means very pink in the middle, while well done means cooked all the way through with no pink. Right. They might also ask what kind of cheese, like cheddar, Swiss, American, or pepper jack. And do you want fries with that? Is a very common question. Let's talk about making special requests. What if you want to change something about a dish?
You can definitely ask. You might say, "Can I get that without onions?" Or, "Could I substitute the fries for a salad?" Or, "Can I get the dressing on the side?"
On the side means they bring it separately, so you can add as much or as little as you want. That's really common with salad dressing.
Exactly. Most restaurants are happy to accommodate reasonable requests. Just remember to be polite and say please and thank you.
Now, what happens while you're eating? The server will usually come back to check on you.
Right. They'll stop by and ask, "How is everything?" Or, How is your meal? Or is everything tasting okay?
And you can respond with, everything's great, thank you, or it's delicious. If there's a problem, you can politely say, actually, this is a bit cold. Could you warm it up? Or, I ordered this without mushrooms, but there are mushrooms in it.
Good examples. Most restaurants want you to be happy, so they'll fix any problems. They might say, I'm so sorry about that. Let me take care of it for you.
Now, let's talk about something that confuses some learners, refills. Johnny, can you explain this?
Sure, in many American restaurants, soft drinks like Coke or Pepsi come with free refills. That means you can get more at no extra cost. The server might ask, would you like a refill? Or just automatically bring you more.
But be careful. This usually only applies to soft drinks and sometimes tea or coffee. Juice and other drinks usually don't come with free refills.
Good point. And you can always ask, are refills free? If you're not sure.
Now, let's talk about the end of the meal. What typically happens?
Well, the server will usually ask, can I interest you in any dessert? Or would you like to see our dessert menu?
You can say, yes, please, or no, thank you, just the check, please.
And the check is the bill, the paper that shows how much you need to pay. In British English, they say the bill, but in American English, we usually say the check. Right. You might also hear servers say, are you all set? Or anything else I can get for you? These are polite ways of asking if you're ready for the check.
When you're ready to pay, you can say, could we have the check, please? Or, we're ready for the check when you get a chance.
And here's something important for international visitors. Tipping. In the United States and Canada, it's customary to tip your server.
Usually 15 to 20% of the total bill before tax. So if your meal costs $50, you'd leave a tip of about $8 to $10.
You can leave cash on the table, or if you're paying with a credit card, there's usually a line on the receipt where you write in the tip amount.
Some restaurants automatically add a service charge for large groups, so check your bill to see if a tip was already included.
Great point. Now, let's practice the whole thing from start to finish. Sarah, should we do a complete role play?
Yes, let's do it. I'll be the customer, and you handle all the restaurant staff roles. Sound good?
Perfect. Good evening. Welcome to the Garden Grill. How many in your party?
Hi, just 2, please.
Wonderful. Would you like to sit inside or on our patio?
Inside would be great, thank you.
Right this way. Here's your table, and these are your menus. Your server will be right with you. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Now I'm switching to being the server. Hi there, I'm Johnny, and I'll be taking care of you this evening. Can I start you off with something to drink?
Yes, I'll have an iced tea, please.
Sweet or unsweetened?
Unsweetened, please.
Perfect. I'll be right back with that, and then I'll give you a few minutes to look at the menu.
See, listeners, the conversation has a nice flow. You order drinks first, then you get time to look at the menu.
Exactly. Here's your iced tea. Have you had a chance to look at the menu, or do you need a few more minutes?
Yes, I'm ready. I'd like the chicken Caesar salad, please.
Great choice. Would you like grilled or crispy chicken?
Grilled, please.
And would you like any bread or an appetizer to start?
No, thank you. The salad is fine.
Sounds good. I'll get that order in for you right away.
Perfect. Now, listeners, notice how I was clear and polite. I used please and thank you, and I answered the server's questions directly.
Those are the keys to good restaurant communication. Let's continue. A little later, here's your chicken Caesar salad. Can I get you anything else?
This looks great. Could I get some extra dressing on the side, please?
Absolutely. I'll be right back with that.
See, it's okay to ask for extras or make small requests.
Later in the meal, How is everything tasting?
It's delicious, thank you.
Wonderful. Just let me know if you need anything else.
And near the end, I'm ready for the check when you get a chance, please.
Sure thing. I'll grab that for you. And then, here's your check. I can take that whenever you're ready. There's no rush.
Thank you. That was a great meal.
And scene. That's a complete restaurant experience right there.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes beginners make. Johnny, what do you notice?
One big mistake is being too quiet or shy. Servers need to hear you, so speak clearly and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's true. Another mistake is forgetting to say please and thank you. These simple words make you sound much more polite and friendly.
Also, some learners translate directly from their language, which can sound strange. For example, in some languages, you might say, I want, but in English, I'd like or can I have sounds more polite.
Good point. Instead of I want the steak, say I'd like the steak, please, or I'll have the steak, please.
Also, another tip, don't be embarrassed if you don't understand something. It's totally okay to say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Or, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
Absolutely. Servers are usually very patient and happy to help. They want you to have a good experience.
Let's talk about some specific vocabulary that's really useful. Sarah, what about different types of restaurants?
Good idea. There are fast food restaurants where you order at a counter. Then there are casual dining restaurants, which are more relaxed, sit-down places. And fine dining restaurants are more formal and fancy.
The language you might use might be slightly different in each setting. At a fast food place, you might just say, I'll have a number 3, referring to a combo meal. But at a fine dining restaurant, you'd be more formal.
Right. Let's talk about some common restaurant vocabulary. What are some words beginners absolutely need to know?
Okay, here we go. Menu, the list of food and drinks. Appetizer, a small dish before the main course. Entree, the main course or main dish. Side dish, food that comes with your main dish, like vegetables or rice.
Dessert, sweet food after the meal. Beverage, any drink. Silverware or utensils. The fork, knife, and spoon. Napkin, the paper or cloth you use to wipe your mouth.
Condiments, things like ketchup, mustard, salt and pepper. To-go box or doggy bag, a container to take leftover food home. Reservation, when you call ahead to save a table.
Oh, reservations, that's important. If you want to make a reservation, you call the restaurant and say, I'd like to make a reservation for 4 people at 7 o'clock on Friday evening.
They might ask for your name and phone number. And if you need to cancel, call them and say, I need to cancel my reservation for tonight.
What about splitting the check? That's when different people pay for their own meals.
Good one. You can say, can we have separate checks? Or can we split the check? Some restaurants can do this easily. Others prefer you figure it out yourselves.
And if you want to pay for everyone, you can say, I've got this, or this is on me, or I'll take care of it.
Now let's talk about dietary restrictions and preferences. This is really important vocabulary.
Right. You might be vegetarian, meaning you don't eat meat, or vegan, meaning you don't eat any animal products, including dairy or eggs.
You might be gluten-free, avoiding wheat and other grains, or lactose intolerant, unable to eat dairy products. You can tell your server, I'm vegetarian, what would you recommend?
And you can ask, is this dish gluten-free, or does this contain dairy? Good servers know the menu well and can help you.
Let's practice some more specific situations. What if the food isn't cooked the way you wanted?
You can politely say, I ordered this medium rare, but it's well done. Could you please cook me another one? Most restaurants will be happy to fix it.
What if you drop your fork or spill something?
Just politely get your server's attention and say, "Excuse me, I dropped my fork. Could I get another one?" Or, "I spilled some water. Could we get some napkins?"
What if you want to know what a dish tastes like?
You can ask, "What does this taste like?" Or, "Is this sweet or savory?" Savory means not sweet, like salty or rich flavors.
What if the music is too loud or it's too cold?
You can ask, "Would it be possible to turn down the music a bit?" Or, "It's a little cold in here. Is there any way to adjust the temperature?"
These are all polite ways to make requests. The key is always being courteous and understanding.
Now, let's talk about different cuisines. If you're at an Italian restaurant, you might order pasta, pizza, or risotto. At a Mexican restaurant, you might order tacos, burritos, or enchiladas.
At a Chinese restaurant, you might order stir-fry, fried rice, or dumplings. At a Japanese restaurant, sushi, ramen, or teriyaki.
Each type of restaurant has its own specific vocabulary, but the basic conversation structure we've been practicing works everywhere.
Absolutely. Now, here's a fun challenge for our listeners. Try to use this vocabulary in real life. Next time you go to a restaurant, practice these phrases.
Even if you're nervous, remember that making mistakes is part of learning. Servers interact with people from all over the world, and they're usually very patient.
And here's a secret. Even native speakers sometimes don't know what something on the menu means. It's totally normal to ask questions.
So true. Now, let's practice some listening comprehension. I'll say some sentences, and you listeners think about what they mean. Ready, Johnny?
Ready.
I'll have mine to go.
That means you want to take your food with you instead of eating in the restaurant.
Can we get the sauce on the side?
That means you want the sauce brought separately so you can add it yourself.
This is a party of 5.
That means there are 5 people in the group.
I'm watching my carbs.
That means you're trying not to eat too many carbohydrates, like bread or pasta.
Great. These are all phrases you might hear or use in a restaurant.
Let's talk about breakfast places since we've mostly focused on lunch and dinner. At a breakfast restaurant, you'll see different vocabulary.
Right. You might order pancakes, waffles, French toast, an omelet, scrambled eggs, fried eggs, or bacon and eggs.
They'll ask, "How do you want your eggs?" You can say scrambled, fried, poached, or over easy, which means fried on both sides but with the yolk still runny.
You might also hear what kind of toast. The options are usually white, wheat, sourdough, or rye.
And for drinks, you might order orange juice, apple juice, coffee, or hot chocolate.
Coffee culture is big in English-speaking countries. They might ask regular or decaf. Decaf means no caffeine. And how do you take your coffee? Means, do you want cream, milk, sugar?
You might say just black, meaning no cream or sugar, or cream and sugar, please, or just cream, no sugar.
Now we're getting close to the end of our conversation, but let's review the most important phrases one more time. Johnny, what are the essential phrases every beginner needs to know?
Great question. Here are my top 10. A table for number, please. Can I have the menu? What do you recommend? I'll have the dish name, please. Could I get that without ingredient?
And here are 5 more. 6. How is everything? It's delicious, thank you. 7. Could we have some water, please? 8. Can we have the check, please? 9. Is the tip included? 10. Thank you. Have a great day.
Those 10 phrases will get you through most restaurant situations successfully.
Absolutely. And remember, confidence comes with practice. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll feel.
One last tip. Try role-playing at home. Practice with a friend or family member. One person can be the server, the other the customer, and switch roles.
That's excellent advice. You can even practice alone in front of a mirror or record yourself speaking these phrases.
And don't forget, body language matters too. Make eye contact, smile, and use polite gestures like saying, "Excuse me," to get your server's attention.
Never snap your fingers or yell, "Hey!" to get attention. That's considered very rude.
Instead, make eye contact and raise your hand slightly, or wait for your server to come by and say, "Excuse me," politely.
Well, Johnny, I think we've covered just about everything a beginner needs to know about English at the restaurant.
We really have. From walking in the door to paying the check, we've covered all the important vocabulary and phrases.
I hope our listeners feel more confident now about ordering food in English. Remember, everyone was a beginner once, and making mistakes is how we learn.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to try. Most people will appreciate your effort to speak English, and they'll be patient with you.
And here's one final thought. Eating out is supposed to be enjoyable. Don't stress too much about perfect English. The goal is communication and having a good time.
So true, Sarah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today on this English learning journey.
We hope you found this helpful. Practice these phrases, be brave, and go enjoy a meal at a restaurant using your English skills.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to our channel and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next.
You can also practice with our other episodes on daily English conversations. We have lessons on shopping, at the airport, at the doctor's office, and so much more.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, you're doing great.
Until next time, happy learning, everyone.
And bon appetit, that means enjoy your meal.
Thanks for listening to Native Speakers Channel.